Hey songsters, today I'm going to show you a little bit more of my process with editing. Last week I posted a video called Songster Hack number 6 on editing your songs, and I gave you point by point some things that I look for when I'm editing. So now you're actually going to get to see how I use those when I'm editing one of the songs I've written. If you're new here, I post songwriting videos, and that can be a tutorial, or as I call them, a songster hack. That could be a new song that I've written, or that could be a song vlog of me writing a song, or in this case, editing a song. If that interests you, please consider subscribing, liking this video, and turning on post notifications so you know exactly when I post. If you hear white noise in the background, that's the baby monitor, and that is there. That's the sound of the sleeping baby, which allows me to make this video. So I hope you can put up with just a little bit of white noise and that it won't be too bothersome. Okay, so I wrote this song several weeks ago, and it's called Shepherd's Quilt. I was imagining all the things that a little boy might do with a quilt other than sleeping, and that could be making it a cape and coming up with superhero names. That could be, making it a tent and having a little pretend camp out in the living room. And I was thinking how fun it would be to play these games with my son. He's only 15 months right now, so it's a little early, but just sort of dreaming for the future. If you want to check out the original song, the first draft of this song called Shepherd's Quilt, I will put the link in the cards up here, and you can check that out. I've already taken a pass through the song, and I'm just going to show you what I've looked at and what I'm thinking as I'm taking another pass through the song. Okay, point number 1, cohesive idea throughout the song. Am I communicating clearly? I think I am communicating clearly with this song. The first section is sort of an intro. It's not really a verse, it's not really a chorus, so I'm calling it an intro. And it's crazy cozy cotton quilt covered in colors and elephant. I'm just gonna sing it for you because that's prettier. Crazy cozy cotton quilt covered in colors and elephants, triangle patches mommy built. With each new adventure it goes with me. So there we're setting up the idea for the song. We're talking about this quilt, and I think it's important to set that up because in the verses we're describing the quilt and what we can do. Or we're not describing the quilt, we're describing what we can do with it. I don't think the song will make sense without that first intro. So in the next verse I go into the original line was, "Let's make a quilt cape." And it just kind of bothered me to have that repeated, quilt cape and quilt tent, because you don't call it a quilt cape or a quilt tent, you call it a cape. If you're just pretending it's a cape, it's your cape. If you're pretending it's a tent, it's a tent. So I wanted to change that bit, and so I switched it to, let's make it a cape and make superhero names. So we've already referenced this quilt and described it, and now we're talking about what we're going to do with it. So it sounds like this. Let's make it a cape and make superhero names, fly around the room and make up our own games. And then we go into the chorus. We fight the monsters with contagious laughter. It's another day. We'll play until it's done. I love this chorus. I think it is so, I think it really captures the heart of the song, and I just think it's neat and it's fun and it's totally drawing me in. We fight the monsters with contagious laughter. Doesn't that just like make you feel like a kid when you hear that? We've said, let's make let's make it a cape. And now I'm gonna start the next verse with, then it's a tent. So it'll sound like this. Then it's a tent with dining room chairs. We make all the noise, playing truth or dare. Back to the chorus. We fight the monsters with contagious laughter. It's another day. We'll play until it's done. Yeah, okay, and then into the bridge, and I love the bridge. Again, I feel like this pictures, it paints that picture of childhood. So I didn't really change anything in the bridge because I love it so much. Let's cuddle with stories under light up stars, roast our stovetop s'mores, and giggle in the dark. Back to the chorus. We fight the monsters with contagious laughter. It's another day. We'll play until it's done. I forgot my chords, but you get the idea. Number 1 was cohesive idea. Number 2 is song part function. I think my only question going into this edit was the intro and outro section. I feel like the verses are true versus the chorus. Oh, there's my laundry. Laundry's done. My house is full of noises. I just can't help it. Song part function. I feel like the verses are true verses, the chorus feels like a chorus, and the bridge feels like a bridge. I feel like those are all great. The intro and outro, I don't know what those would be other than calling them intro and outro. I haven't seen a lot of songs that have this format. I don't think I've seen any songs that have this format, to be honest. I'm kind of making it up. I think that's okay, because I still, when I listen back to this song and when I'm, listening to it as I play, I still feel like it's got that cohesive idea. It's got, we're describing this quilt and it encapsulates childhood, and I think it draws a very clear picture. So I'm going to keep it for now, but it'll be something that I keep coming back to probably until we actually record. Number 3. Are there any chords or phrases that are weak and need to be adjusted to strengthen the song? I don't know about, I like all the chords. As I was, I guess through the editing process already, I've already kind of checked this off when I said I don't want quilt cape or quilt tent. So those were sort of weak phrases that I've already tweaked and edited. Sorry, I went out of order. Oh well. And then number 4, is there anything in the song that just bugs me? And truthfully, as I was listening back to the song, the couple of lines that really bugged me was in the intro. Crazy cozy cotton quilt. I haven't decided yet if I just don't like this line or if I didn't like the way that I sang it in my first draft. So I might still play around with singing it differently, changing the rhythm, changing the sound. Some of those teeny tiny little adjustments can make a huge difference on the sound of the song. So I wasn't sure about Crazy Cozy Cotton Quilt, and I wasn't sure about, I like the line that rhymes with that, Triangle Patches, but I'm not sure about Mommy Built. So Crazy Cozy Cotton Quilt, covered in colors and elephants, and then Triangle Patches, Mommy Built. I think it does sound like a child's explanation of, especially a boy's explanation of how one makes a quilt, like you build it. So I don't know. That leads me to number 5. I think I'm going to get an outside opinion, and that includes you. What do you think? Do you like this line, Crazy Cozy Cotton Quilt? Is it too much alliteration? Is it annoying? What are your thoughts? I'm also going to get the opinions of my friends Scott and Mallory from the Rough and Tumble, because I am co-writing this album with them, and I just want to know their opinions and see if what I'm feeling is true. Sometimes when you have those things that bug you about your songs, it could just be you being self-conscious. That happens to me a lot. And then I share it with other people, and I share it with trusted songwriters and people who I really trust their opinion to tell me the truth. And a lot of times they don't see what I'm seeing. They're not bugged by the things that bug me in my songs. And so then I have a decision. Do I listen to the feedback of other people, or do I just listen to my own instincts and risk editing my song too much and possibly taking out a piece that maybe my audience would have really enjoyed? That's always a risk. So you kind of have to find that balance. Let me know if this was helpful. That is my intention in making any of these. I don't want to bore you. I know that some people are just not interested in learning how to edit their songs, but if you are, give me some feedback, and I'd love to talk about it in the comments below. Click subscribe and write the song you need to hear this week.